What if I told you that in just 1 week, you can completely change your engagement on social media? That is exactly what I'm telling you today. If you complete these 5 tasks that I'm about to break down, you will see a peak in your social media engagement. Trust me. By the way, this video is sponsored by Pixar. More on them later. All right, so the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, I'm actually going to start by ruffling some feathers here. Do you guys remember engagement routines? If you subscribe to this channel for a while, then you probably do. Back in the day, creators used to do these engagement routines where we would spend hours every single day engaging with content from all over the internet as a way to try and grow our channels. Now, engagement routines are very much obsolete. However, dedicating time to engage with your audience is not. That is still a valuable thing that you should do on social media. Which is why the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to put aside 30 minutes, 6 out of the 7 days this week to engage with your audience. If you're wondering why I'm saying 6 out of the 7 days, don't worry, in the next action, all become clear. Now, I bet you're thinking, okay, well, if engagement routines don't work, then why are you asking me to engage with people? It's because we're not trying to engage with people for the purpose of growing. We're trying to engage with our audience for the purpose of strengthening our relationship with our community. That is an incredibly valuable thing that all creators should be doing. I do know that most creators don't do that though. Like, I'll put my hands up. Mojo's just licking. Are you seeing how much she's licking me? My God, she must like the body cream I've got on today. I will put my hand up and be the first to admit that when things are really, really busy, I struggle to keep up with comments and DMs. Like, it happens, which is why for this week only, I want you to challenge yourself to spend 30 minutes per day for 6 out of the 7 days per week, just sifting through your comments, sifting through your DMs and responding to them using tone matching. Tone matching is essentially when you respond to a message in the same tone that that message was written in. Let me give you a really obvious example. Let's say someone writes you a really long, lovely message where they're sharing an experience that they had in relation to your content. They're talking about how much you've helped them, and it's this beautifully worded message. Instead of responding with thanks and like an emoji, you respond by matching their tone. So maybe your response is a little bit longer than it normally is. What am I? Is it the cocoa butter? Like, what's going on, babe? Maybe you respond by sharing your own story. The point is that your response should look somewhat similar in tone and length to the comment that you have responded to. And that also goes for comments that were really short and just one emoji. You can therefore respond with a short comment and just one emoji too. Do you see what I mean? Now, tone matching is something that often takes more time when it comes to engaging, which is why I'm only challenging yourself to do it this week. And I want you to see the impact it has on your bond with your community, but also on your overall engagement by the end of the week. All right, so the next thing I'm going to want you to do is to jump on a trending topic, but not in the way that you think. Now, I need to make something very clear. This task is not about hopping on any old trend. This is not what we're talking about. We're actually talking about trending topics, which is different to like trending content that you see go viral online. A trending topic is a subject or a theme that your audience are currently talking about. For example, in my niche, there was a time when everyone was talking about Alex Earl because she did this interview with a publication where she was talking about the way she structures her brand deals. If you missed it, she essentially said that when she works with brands, not only does she get paid, but she also negotiates a percentage of their company. Very, very smart, right? A lot of people in my industry were talking about this at the time because it was a trending topic. And therefore I commented on it and I shared the article in one of my carousels. So this tip is about doing some research to figure out what topics are trending within your niche or within your audience, right? And talking about those topics, commenting on those topics, opening a dialogue on those topics. And that basically means like asking your audience about those topics, asking them what they think about it, right? Because it's trending and because people are already interested in it, it is far more likely to pique your engagement and to massively increase the amount of comments that you receive on your content. You might be wondering, okay, but how do I find these trending topics? Let me show you a quick way of finding them. Okay, we are currently using one of my favorite resources, which is called Google Trends. The way you get to it is by visiting trends.google.com. I will put a link in the description. I love using this because it's essentially a tool for figuring out what people are searching for on Google at any given time related to any given topic anywhere in the world, right? And it literally uses Google's data and therefore also YouTube's data, because they're both owned by the same parent company, to tell you what people are actually searching for. So this is like first party data, right? There's a few different ways you can use Google Trends. You can either type in your own keyword, let's say fashion, in here to do with the type of content that you might create, and it will show you the interest in your keyword over time. And if you scroll to the bottom, it's going to show you search queries, related topics, which should hopefully give you some inspiration as to what your audience are talking about. Or you can go to the trending now section, which basically flips that process on its head. And instead it tells you what people are searching for and what people are interested in first. And then you can sort through the results to try and find the keywords that are related to you and your content. So right now it's very generic. A lot of people are talking about the iPhone Air. Is that an actual thing? I mean, it looks like it is. So what you'd want to do to make sure that these keywords are relevant to you is you might want to change the location. You might want to change it to the last 7 days rather than just 48 hours. You can pick a category. So maybe it's beauty and fashion. You can even filter it so it's only active trends. And here, if you do all of this, you're going to find a couple of keywords. Mitchum deodorant. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure someone who's into fashion will tell me. I don't know why Mitchum deodorant is trending. If you go ahead and click on it, it's going to tell you why. And it's going to do that by sharing a bunch of different articles that are related to that keyword. So here you can see that Mitchum has had to apologize because, oh no, Mitchum's leaving people with itchy, burning armpits. Mitchum. And there you go. If that was something that you think your audience would be interested in, you now have a trending topic that you can open a dialogue with and be like, guys, have you heard about Mitchum deodorant? Like, what are your thoughts on it? What are your favorite deodorant brands? Do you see where I'm getting at? It's not the most glamorous example, but you get what I mean. Now, I know I said that I was only going to task you to do 5 things before the end of the week, but I do want to share a bonus task for you. So these are the people who really want to take their socials seriously. Now, this tip is primarily about your photo content. And the reason why is because photos across the board, whether you're a TikToker, an Instagrammer, even on YouTube, because we have a community tab where you can share photos. Photos are amazing for getting engagement with your audience. A lot of algorithms actually prioritize sharing your photos with your existing audience, which usually means that you end up getting a lot more engagement, right? So if you want to focus on sharing more photos as part of your overall social media strategy, I want you to follow these tips to really level up your photos with ease. The way that you're going to do this is by using the AI photo editing tools available to you inside Pixar. If you're not familiar with Pixar already, it's an all-in-one creative platform with a wide selection of free AI design tools. So let me show you a quick demonstration on how you can use Pixar to do this. When I say with ease, I know I already said with ease, but like genuinely one of the easiest things you can do. So I am working on a new post on my Instagram where I do this doom scroll series where basically I share different articles that creators or business owners should read instead of doom scrolling. I actually got the idea from another creator who does it on the fashion industry. I'll link to her channel below. So here's a photo that I'm probably going to use for the lead carousel, right? So to improve the look of this photo, all I need to do is click on AI Enhance. And here, what it's basically going to do is fix the details, reduce the blur, add in pixels, and also improve the overall resolution with just one click. So it's not like I have to fuss about with each individual section to get it to the best possible outcome. It's just going to use AI to detect what this photo needs, and it's just going to immediately fix it for me. Okay, so here we go. It's showing the before and after. So this is the before. And this is the after. Can you see the improvements in that photo? And that was literally one click, took like 5 seconds. Now, in addition to these tools, Pixar also has over 25 additional AI tools, which allows you to enhance your content and also apply some really cool creative effects. So if you want a quick way to enhance the photos that you're sharing on social media, I really recommend that you get started with Pixar and specifically you start using the AI enhancement tool. And if you generally just want access to all of their additional AI tools, because there's a lot and they're incredibly powerful, then you're just going to want to sign up to Pixar anyway. I will of course put the link in my description so you can get started with Pixar today. All right, so the next thing I want you to do before the end of the week, which is technically a third action because the last action was a bonus action, so we're only on number 3, is I want you to take a day off from social media. I know that probably sounds so counterproductive, but just trust me here. I'm willing to bet that you probably haven't taken a full day off of social media for a while. And when I say day off, I don't mean a day off just from posting, although that is included. I'm talking about a day off from social media completely. Like, I don't want you to open up the apps on your phone. I don't want you to consume social media content, and I don't want you to share social media content. This, side note, is why I said that I want you to dedicate 30 minutes to engaging with your audience 6 out of the 7 days this week rather than the full 7 days, because I knew that one of those days I didn't want you to be on social media at all. The reason why I want you to try this is because when you take a step back from social media, it can often spark a new wave of creativity. That short break can have you coming back refreshed, rejuvenated, excited, motivated, and that will just flow through to any future content that you create. And as I said, if you haven't taken a full day off of social media as a consumer or as a creator in a long time, then I want you to do this purely as a test and learn activity. I want you to see if taking a day off does spark a new wave of creativity for you, because if it does, you can now keep that tactic in your back pocket the next time you're struggling with motivation or you're struggling with creativity. You know that taking a day off will actually help you with that problem. All right, the next thing I want you to do is to repurpose some content, specifically high performing content, and I want you to repurpose it tactically.
What do you mean?
Now, I've said a bunch of words there that might not make complete sense upon initial listen, but what I'm basically saying is I want you to go through your previous content that you've shared on your chosen social media channel. I want you to find the content that has received the best engagement. You should be able to do this by looking at your analytics on your chosen channel, right? So we're looking for content that has received the most likes, comments, shares, any of those common engagement metrics. Which posts have you shared within the last 6 months that has outperformed the others when it comes to engagement? I then want you to repurpose this post in a tactical way. And by that, I mean, I want you to identify a part of that post that you want to carry into a new piece of content. For some of you, you might have found a reel or a video and thought, well, the whole video is great. I'm just going to take what I said in that video and turn it into a carousel, right? Maybe it's a story that you shared in a video and you're just going to tell the story over a series of carousels and photos instead. Amazing. For others, it might be like, okay, it was actually the hook of that video that was really, really engaging. So maybe you want to replicate that hook, have a similar style, but do it for a different video or a different topic next. Identify an element of that post that performed really well for you in terms of engagement in the past and take that through into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm just saying numbers now, future posts that you create. By doing this, you are saving time because you're no longer reinventing the wheel every single time you want to create a new post, but also you're being really tactical because you're borrowing something from a post that you already know performed well and bringing it into a new one, therefore increasing the chances of that new post also performing well for you. Okay, fifth and final thing that I want you to do this week. Once you've done all this, you could take a day off, you can relax. I'm super, super proud of you. This one's a pretty big one though. I want you to go live before the end of the week. I know, why would I ask you of such a thing? Look, going live is one of the most effective ways that you can strengthen your bond with your community. It really, really is. The reason why is because lives are the only way for you to have real-time conversations with your audience. You can tell me that you're in your DMs and you have conversations all day long. It's not real time. Real-time communication with your audience can only happen on a live. So the fact that people are able to ask you questions, speak to you, and you're able to respond immediately. Have you ever joined a live and done that with a creator before? Like ask them questions? Because if you have, you'll know the feeling. Even if you haven't, but you've joined a live and you've seen a creator respond to comments or questions, even just being near that level of instant communication makes you feel more connected to that creator, right? We want our audience to have the same feeling with you and with me, because I actually do have a few different lives on my YouTube channel scheduled throughout the rest of the year. So if you ever want to join one of my lives, they'll just be like informal Q&As where you can ask me anything about myself or about the creator economy, about marketing, business, whatever. I'll be doing those every few months and you'll be able to see them on my YouTube channel when they're scheduled. So this is me putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not just going to tell you guys to do this and be like, do as I say, not as I do. No, I'm actually doing this too. Right? Now, I know I technically gave you 6 things to do and I'm kind of about to give you a 7th, but this is a quick one. I want you to watch this video next. It's all about hooks and specifically the ultimate formula for creating hooks in your content that actually work. Do not forget that if you want to get started using Pixar's AI tools to enhance your content, you can head to the link in my description. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I can't wait to see you in my next video.